Today we're back looking at some crazy parents. A strange father uses AI to edit himself into pictures. My daughter has estranged me for nearly 7 years. In that time she got married, I only found out 11 months later. They moved to Hong Kong, which I also found out later. Last year in October my grandson was born. They kept it a secret from me and I get a stolen picture or two from friends of her mother. So I asked ChatGPT to create a generic photo of us in Hong Kong and it felt so good seeing us together with my grandson in my arms. Okay, I'm just gonna pause it there. Why is your daughter not speaking to you? For your daughter to get married, move to Hong Kong and have a child and tell you nothing about it. Obviously you've done something bad. Maybe AI can help bring our kids and grandkids together again. So if you want to pick if you're a estranged child or grandchild, ask AI to create one wherever in the world you want it to be. And as you can see, obviously that is the granddaughter and the child. And if you look into the bottom right hand corner, that looks like the grandfather. Yet again, what have you done for your child not to talk to you? You've obviously done something pretty bad for your child, first of all, not to talk to you. It's even worse whenever she's not telling you about her getting married or her having a child. So maybe we should stop using AI to make these pictures and sit down and think about what you've actually done. Maybe he should ask ChatGPT why a woman would completely estrange her father, and if photoshopping himself into her pictures is likely to change that. I also want to know who is sending these pictures. He was saying that some of her friends are sending him pictures. Does she know about these friends? I think she should. Could you imagine literally cutting your father off for whatever reason and then your friends are sending him pictures of you and your child and your husband behind your back? I don't know which one I'd be more mortified about. That's insane and also incredibly sad. I mean, I just want to know what he's done. Has he done something super serious or has he not? I understand kids have complicated relationships with their parents. However, for your child to move to another country, get married and give birth and then not tell you, something's obviously happened and it's been pretty serious.
And this spot is open. It's not for you. That's for a mom with their kids that needs to come.
No, I can park in that spot if I want to without children because it is not a assigned or designated parking spot for somebody. The only places that you really can't park in a parking lot unless if you meet the criteria for it are the handicap spots, the expectant mother, and the fire lane. I will say though, the entitlement of mamas like you is exactly what makes me want to say I'm going to start exclusively using the handicap accessible stall in bathrooms. I probably won't, but if I was petty enough, I might, but I'm not. Overall though, I'm going to continue to park wherever the hell I want. If it's not a handicap or expectant mother spot. Actually, I could qualify for a handicap spot if I wanted to, but I just haven't done the process of it yet. But yeah, until then, I will continue to park in that spot without children.
Okay, so I was reading through the comment section because it is like World War III in there. You know, half of the people agree with her, half of the people don't. Mothers in the comment section are not happy, but then there's also mothers who agree with her. I also learned apparently in the UK we have children parking spots which have a little child on them. I didn't know that. I knew obviously about the handicap one for people who have disabilities, but apparently in the UK we have family parking spots. As a former child, we survived walking 30 meters in a parking lot. I mean, I completely understand why a mother might want to park in a certain place because, you know, they're scared of their child getting hit by a car. But then yet again, you know, what type of parking spots count as a mother's only parking spot? If we look at the very start of that video and where she's pointing, it is nowhere near that shopping centre. Maybe I'm naive, but I would have assumed that a mother would have wanted to park right up at the front. If we look at that, that's right beside the shopping trolley bay. But then yet again, I'm not a mother and I don't have a child. Does America not have parent and child spaces? In the UK, we have parent and child spaces with extra room disabled spots, normally closer to the store and somewhere to put the trolley back. I never would have known that. I'm sorry, I have never heard of that before. Obviously, I knew about the handicap spots which were right up beside the shopping centre. I didn't know about the child only ones. But then yet again, that does make sense. You know, if somebody does have a very young child, you don't want the child to get splattered by a car. I don't think my mum ever parked in them. But then yet again, I'm pretty sure I was literally cable tied to my mum. I had one of them harnesses on when I was a child.
Woman refuses to give up a first-class seat to allow a family with a kid.
I'm from Spain living in the US and I have two small kids, so I travel often to Spain with my kids. Let me give you my opinion on this. So the woman refused to give up her first class seat for the family with a kid that wanted to sit together. Apparently the mom got only one first class seat for herself and then hoped that the person next to her would give up her seat and give it to her for her kid. She refused to give it up, as she should. If you travel as a family, it is your job as a parent to make sure that the whole family is traveling together. You should select your seats in advance. That's the only way you're gonna make sure that the whole family is sitting together or at least nearby. Now, I know that sometimes technology works funny money and you book a flight and then you're trying to select the seats and it doesn't let you. So what I would do is, one, call the airline right after booking your flight and tell them what's going on. Tell them that you're traveling together as a family and you wanted to sit together. And if that doesn't work, as soon as you get to the airport, talk to the agent. And most likely they have the family already sitting together. If that's not your case and you're not sitting together, you can ask someone to switch seats. But I would never ask anyone to switch seats unless I could offer them a better option. You can ask, but if they say no, you have to happily accept that. But please, parents out there, don't be entitled just because you have kids. Plan in advance is your job as a parent. What do you guys think?
I'm sorry, but that does not seem like a story where a mother accidentally booked their child away from them. That seems like a mother who wanted a first class seat and was hoping that somebody else would give her child one. So you're telling me she sat in first class and the children are sat in economy? I mean, that tells you everything about it, doesn't it? You know, if she really wanted to, surely you'd sit in economy with them. This just seems like she wanted another free first class seat. Why doesn't she ask another person if they want her first class seat? That's what I'm saying, you know, like give someone else an upgrade. If you truly want to sit by your kids, you'll downgrade. She's the opposite. She wanted her kids the upgrade. I honestly don't believe this has anything to do about planning. I think the mum didn't want to pay the price of 2 first class tickets. You've hit the nail on the head there. That's exactly what she's done. This sounds really, really deep, but whenever a plane crashes, they're able to identify everyone in that plane from where the people are sitting. Could you imagine you swap seats with somebody and then like they think they're having a funeral for you? It's actually somebody else's body. Like, I'm sorry, that whole story has got nothing to do with a mother accidentally booking 2 seats apart. She's purposely put the kids in economy because she didn't want to pay for the ticket. I'm 37, ... Here's some important context. I'm 37 and 9 weeks pregnant with my first kid. My partner and I have been together for 11 years but not married. Plan to get married but not in an extreme rush like my mum wants us to be. My family is an indoctrinated Southern Baptist Jesus lovers, so this is why this is so important to them, lol. Their shame is very important to them. All in all, I'm pretty unbothered by it, and I'm going to do what my partner and I decide is best for us. Just thought you guys might enjoy. Okay, so religion's going to be involved in this, which is going to be quite interesting. Okay, so here's the text message from the mother. Do you want me to make phone calls for you to check on wedding prices? Just asking. No, because we likely aren't having a wedding, just going to go to the courthouse. Are you sure? And you need a dress, but you still have to get a marriage certificate and make appointment and let me know and his parents and siblings. We all want to be at your wedding. We will figure it out, just need to get caught up in life and work first, not in any rush. Yes, because you want wedding pics where your child doesn't look at them and says, oh, mum and dad weren't married. It's just best to put the wedding first before you two get all caught up in baby things, and I will be there for you to help you with whatever. Okay, so this just seems like a mother who's a little bit concerned about the wedding and wants it to get ahead. However, I just know it's going to get worse and worse and worse. It's going to deteriorate every second. Our child will be rude to not judge people, so not worried about it. The point is, you do need to get it done soon, and I want to be there, and I know your siblings would want to plan to be there. The point I'm trying to make is it does not have to be done soon, and honestly, if we wanted to elope and not have anyone there, it's our choice, but we're going to be gracious and allow at least you to come. I'd prefer no one be there if it were up to me, but I don't want us to start World War III. Your sister and brother would like to come, you know that, but I'm worried about how you're going to be feeling later, but whatever. That's not the main reason you're embarrassed, lol. You literally just said it's because the kid will be embarrassed, but whatever. A lot bothers me, but I just want you to feel good and not so tired later, because you will be. Okay, so this actually isn't too bad. You know, I was expecting it to be a lot worse. I was expecting her to basically kick her out of the family, make her feel like a complete and utter embarrassment. Obviously, she wants her to get married very badly, and she wants everyone there probably because she wants to feel included. However, yet again, you know, it's not her wedding, it's her daughter's wedding. Well, arguably, the first trimester is one of the most exhausting times too. I'm trying to balance that and live in a normal life right now, because most people have no idea I'm pregnant, so give me a break. Sorry for Karen, if you need me, you know where I am. It came off more about your own embarrassment. Okay, so her aunt and cousin were talking about her behind her back, and this is what they had to say. Yep, her mum wants ideas of what to say to me to try to get her married soon. She's almost 40, her mum needs to butt out. I can understand how her mum feels. Sad that she doesn't respect her mum as her mum. It's not about respect. Her mum needs to respect her daughter as her own person. It is respect, it's her grandbaby. Yeah, and it's her baby. That trumps grandbaby. I am kind of picking up her being a bit territorial of the granddaughter, and I have noticed that sometimes whenever it comes to grandparents, even though the grandchild technically is their grandchild, they kind of view it as their child, not their child's child, and sometimes it can result in them being a little bit controlling. Okay, so anyways, that was the end of their messages. It wasn't actually as bad as what I thought it was going to be. I genuinely was expecting her to be throwing Bible verses at her left, right and centre. I'd literally not get married for another 2 years just out of spite. I mean, if anything, that might actually be a smart idea, because you don't want to get married, then give birth, and then like the relationship fall apart because you can't deal with the stress of the child. And also as well, you know, if the child is a wee toddler, wouldn't it be better to get married whenever she's there? You know, it's something she actually gets to experience. And the worst parent award goes to ... Oh. Oh. Okay, so originally whenever I watched that, I actually didn't see what was wrong. I'm gonna play it again for you. So if you look at that, Ooh. For some reason, a parent has dressed their child up as a black person with a basketball, obviously trying to dress him up as a basketballer for Halloween. I thought this was something people done like 20 years ago. I feel like the only way this happens in 2021 are people that want the smoke, using their kid as a prop to fight with some lib. That's what I'm thinking. You know, to be fair, if it was 20 years ago, I understand why they done that, because a lot of people done that 20 years ago. Even thinking about it now, in like 2010, there were still people doing blackface in national television in the UK. You know, obviously there were shows like Little Britain, Can Fly With Me. That stuff was pretty normalized back then. However, that's in 2021. You know, the parents know darn right that they shouldn't be doing that. I just feel bad for the kid, to be honest, because that's just gonna haunt them. In 20 years time, someone's gonna figure out who that kid is. And then yet again, it's not the kid's fault. You know, he's a young wee kid. It was probably the parents' idea as well. The parents have done that probably knowing that they're gonna piss people off and it was inappropriate, and then act like they were clueless about it all. I'm an a-hole for not wanting to parent my husband's adult children who are my age. Let me start by addressing the age gap. I was in my 30s when I met my husband, and as I don't want kids of my own or to be a parent, I like that his kids were grown and that he wouldn't want any more. I pursued him. There was no grooming situation here, and we've been together for 8 years. He has 2 kids from his first marriage that are roughly 35 and 40. Occasionally they would ask for money here and there, and he would always give it to them. Sometimes it would be paid back, sometimes not. Personally, I believe that the way to help them is by saying no, so that they can figure out their own finances. And I've told him this on many occasions, but it's not my business to tell him how to parent his kids. Over the past couple of years, things have gotten pretty out of control, particularly with the younger one. They have a baby now, so obviously expenses have risen. Asking for money is monthly and clearly has become the solution to money problems. Their mum also recently received inheritance, so now they think that she's a cash cow. She's confided that the younger kid owes her over 10k. I'm so sorry, but these kids are 35 and 40. I understand life's tough, we're in a cost of living crisis. What type of person is going for $10,000? This isn't even like you buying like a wee toy for your child. This is like 10 grand. That's a hell of a lot of money. I've not totaled what we are owed. Asks are genuinely between $100 to $500 a month, and I'm sure that it's more than my husband lets on. I could understand, you know, maybe the odd 10, 20 every so often. 100 to 500 a month. Do these people not have jobs? And then yet again, you know, I understand, you know, maybe people don't make a lot of money. However, whenever you get to 35, 40, you're kind of expect to have your life together in a way. But to be the devil's advocate, I don't know their financial situation. But then also they are in their mid 30s and early 40s. Tonight he wanted to have them over for dinner and to see the grandbaby, to talk about their finances and what they're gonna do. New jobs or move to a cheaper part of town. Figure out why they're asking for money every single month and what to do about it. This is too much parenting for me to be involved in, and I let my husband know that. I would make plans to be elsewhere so as not to be in the uncomfortable situation of acting as a parent to people who are practically my own age. He said that it was fine and that he would go by himself to the store. I asked him to wait for me and that I would go with him because there's no money in his account. He just gave them $150 each and we could use my card. So he's basically making himself broke to give his kids money. I'm so sorry, but as a parent in that situation, you need to tell your kids to get their life together. They're not like 14, 15 where they're going to the shop to get sweets and they can't really get a job. They're in their 30s and 40s. Then he got upset and said, "You're not part of this," which yes, I'm not going to parent your adult children, but I can supply the food for you to make them dinner. I mean, thinking about it now, you could find yourself in a situation soon where he might be asking you for money because he's given all of his money away. I grabbed my coat and was ready to go, and he was still upset and no longer wanted to have them over at all, and texted them to cancel and told them he didn't have enough money to make them dinner. Now he's complaining that he thought we were a team and that I can do whatever I wanted to do tonight. I haven't made plans yet because it all happened so fast. He's acting like I ruined his plans with his kids. I love my husband and we have a great relationship. We are a team. I just don't feel like I should be involved with parenting his kids. We're so close in age, it makes me extremely uncomfortable. It's not my place. I did not raise them, so I'm not sure why I should be expected to start doing so now. Am I the a-hole? I'm so sorry. Absolutely not. At the end of the day, your husband is being used for money. He's basically just a cash cow to them. And you know, eventually that money is going to dry up and he's going to have to ask you for money. I don't mean for this to come across as rude, but trying to parent your husband's kids who are around the same age as you would be weird. Not even that, it's just the fact that they're asking their parents for money. And then yet again, you know, I understand in this economy people don't have money. If they're struggling with bills, I'm sure that dad will be there to support them. However, by the sounds of it, it is more than that. It's not them struggling for bills, it's just them wanting money for the sake of money. She's talking about how they could have taken at least £10,000 off, and that is crazy. The bank of mummy and daddy is a real thing, but surely you should be cut off after about the age of 20. You're in your mid 30s and early 40s. Maybe it's time to get a job and start budgeting and look at your life and figure out what's really going on there. Well, anyways guys, it's really fun video there. That is some entitled parents. If you want to see me look at more entitled parents, then I definitely will. Press the subscribe and see you all tomorrow for another video.